What's up, my friends? DK here, Curry. It is episode 8, numero ocho. Yeah, we're talking about some cool stuff today. So if you guys are new to Two Dudes Talking, please do me a favor. Go ahead, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you get notified first if we throw out a short. If who knows, maybe we go live for our 1,000 subscriber anniversary thing, doodad, or you just want to see more videos and get notified when we put them out. Hit that bell icon. That's what that does. You'll be the first to know. So, Curry, today we're going to talk about. Um, you could title this a few different ways. You could call this, the pursuit of. What did you say? The pursuit of
Ambitious people.
ambitious people. Yep, is a friendly way of saying it. The I think a little more direct way of saying is recruiting up, and I think there's so many viewpoints people have when it comes to recruiting or making a sale or making money or whatever it is. It's all the same stuff. People have different viewpoints or maybe thought processes on it. And today we're going to give you ours. So you could decide if going after somebody who's ambitious, somebody who is driven is worth your time. I don't know. I think it is.
It's worth your time. It's
Yeah,
it's worth your time.
I would say so. So, Curry, I'll kick it over to you. When you hear the phrase, recruiting up, what let me ask you a two-part question because I think this is interesting. What is your sense now compared to years ago when you first got started? And has that opinion changed when you think about the term recruiting up or going after ambitious people?
For sure. It's definitely changed a lot. I have when I first got started in network marketing, I was just trying to sell the service. You know what I mean? I was just
Mm.
trying to do the thing. And I really wasn't really aware of what recruiting would do for my business. So I wasn't really paying attention because I just didn't know yet. We all live in this bubble of what we know is all we know. It's
Mhm.
so I just wasn't aware that I needed to find people who wanted more. These recruiting up or ambitious people, finding people who are just average. They may not want much out of anything in life, and you find people who are making 75, 100,000, more money in different career fields, or network marketers who may have, taken a break and they've reached a high level and they
Mhm.
might be open to something else. And it's like one of the things that I really have come to really embrace is if you don't ask, you'll never find out.
The answer is
So,
always no.
yeah, right. If you ain't asking, you ain't finding out. But I've learned that people who have higher level careers, people who have more, always seem to want more. They don't seem to ever be settled. Like
Hmm.
it's not every day is not watching TV. Every day is not watching the sports. Every day they're looking for extra. And so for me, chasing the ambitious, I just I realized, hey, I was one of those people.
Hmm.
And somebody asked me, and I said no for a while. And then I came back and was like, yeah. And then I fell in love with this. So
Yeah.
you never know.
No. No, you don't. And I think, and I'll bring this up right in the beginning because I think this is probably the most important fact for me, data, to understand. Like when I look back at the different teams I've been on, the different businesses that I've built, one of my biggest, most successful teams, one of the biggest teams I've ever had, the people that were on my team building with me that literally brought on thousands of people. I've brought on thousands. I've had other people come on, join me and bring on thousands. Every single one of those people literally got to my team, like literally pulled out their credit card, joined me, and it was because of a direct message and me reaching out to them. Like me knowing who these people are, knowing that they had big potential, knowing that I wanted to work with them because I know they could do big things and together we could make money. They got to my team because I literally said, "Hey, I have something you may be interested in." You know, um, so I think there's probably maybe call it a myth, maybe call it a misconception, maybe call it whatever the hell you want. But I think some people think that in network marketing, you can just come in, do whatever basic things. I'll do a little post on Facebook. Maybe I'll create a short video. Maybe I'll have the balls to do a YouTube video, talk longer than a minute. And I'll do the basics. I'll do the bare minimum, and I'll build a big, huge team.
I will tell
Minimum
you that.
effort, maximum result. And it's that to me is more lottery ticket mentality thinking where once you learn some of the skill sets, and one of those skill sets being reaching out to other successful people or reaching out to other people that are getting results, can drastically, in a huge positive way, impact your business.
Yeah, I will tell you, YouTube has been probably my biggest, where I found the largest people in my
For
business,
sure. For
because
sure.
the day I launch a new opportunity, anything I've ever done, I will open up, say, Zoom, and I will record going through the back office. I'll record going through the compensation plan. I'll
Hmm.
record going through. And what people don't understand is they seem to think I know everything about it. And I'm literally just reading the screen. Like I'm just creating
It's so
content.
simple.
I create the content, I put it on YouTube, and what I do is in the description, I always put my name, my email address, my phone number, and
Hmm.
put that at the very top of that description. So as soon as somebody finds those videos, they're finding me.
Yeah.
And by the way, and I got to tell you, and I know you know this as much as most of us do, it's I create this content because of the trap. The trap is there's going to be so many people out here chatting and talking and posting on Facebook and posting on Instagram and posting, believing that's the way. And somebody out here in the ether is going to see somebody else's posts and they're going to find my videos and they're going to be like, do I want to work with this regular person over here,
Hmm.
or do I want to work with a person over here being a leader and creating content and being ambitious? I mean,
Yep.
how many times have you saw content and you didn't even see a phone number? Like people don't want to be contacted. Dear God forbid you have to talk to somebody.
I was, yeah, I was just, a little bit of a derailment from our topic here, but I was literally just talking to one of my leaders the other day about this. Is that we got people, and this is real life stuff here. We got people on our team, and they're going out there, they're doing the thing, they're doing the thing, which is great, which is creating that piece of content, which is an income producing activity. And we're literally looking at some of their videos on YouTube, whether it be a short, whether it be a full length video. Um, and there's under the description down below the video, there's literally zero information.
Oh
There's no
my.
there's no link. There's no and we're just like, how do you how and maybe just been doing this so long, it's just so natural. But I think, I don't know, maybe people forget the fact that, like, you did the thing, but there's also that
Well,
critical piece of,
you did a percentage of the thing.
you
You
did,
didn't do
yeah, you
all the
did a
thing.
percentage of it. Like, do it all the way. And the crazy part is, you know in our training, we go over that. So it was just like, it's the old theory of, you got to slow down to go fast. You got to slow down, you got
Well,
to dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and you got to do all the things, because if you miss some steps, as exactly what you said, if someone happens to see one of their videos and I was like, wow, that sounds pretty interesting, but there's no contact info. Let me go back and let me go search some other things here, and then boop, there's your video, there's my video, and you're
you
100%
can't.
right. Like,
You
I
can't.
do exactly what you're doing when, part of any company, you go through and you just record what you see in the back office. And then you give yourself what's called, by doing so and showcasing what you have, you give yourself an incredible two-word combination, which really, needs to be talked about, which is authority positioning. You are the person that knows about the thing that they're looking at. And when you have authority positioning, you become that kind of go-to person. Um, so people almost are kind of like looking up to you to get started. Where, you know, topic of today is once you're kind of getting going and doing your thing, you should also turn around and start looking up to other people who are already doing what you're doing and try to pull them in with you.
But by the way, and ambitious people aren't afraid to make a phone call.
True.
So that's the wildest conversations that I've ever had is when they call up and they're like, "Hey, I found you on YouTube, and by the way, you're the only person that had their phone number on the video.
I
You're the only person.
I put my
Nobody
phone
else."
number on the top of every single one of my YouTube videos.
Yeah,
Got
it's
a
like I'm
question? Text me
call me,
right there. Yeah.
text, call, message, whatever you got to do. I'm available.
So I'll I want to talk about I guess a IPA and income producing activity when it comes to recruiting up, going after ambitious people. Here's what I've been doing lately, and so I have kind of a pre-written message, and I know copy paste messaging can be, you know, there could be a stigma around it. Facebook could frown on it because it's copy paste, but whatever. You're doing the work, you're doing the thing. I have a copy paste message literally saved in my messages here in my phone, one of my folders, right? And I'm scrolling through Facebook, right? I'm on Facebook and I'm literally scrolling through, and this is how simple I make this, right? I'm scrolling through, and it's like, and I see someone that either I've known in the industry, I know is in another thing, maybe I've worked with them, maybe I haven't, or they're saying, "Hey, I got results from this thing I'm doing over here." I just tap on their name, I go over, message, paste, "Hey, Billy Bob Sue, whatever it is, here's a thing you may be interested in." And it's just, I go through and I'm targeting people that are active in the space, people that are out there, preferably getting results or trying to get results. And I'm going to say, "Hey, I'm over here. You may want to see what I'm doing because it's pretty good. Should I send something to you?" And I ask, my copy paste message asks the question like, should I send it? Should I send you the information? And the crazy part is, this is also the same sort of strategy that has landed me some very large leaders on my team. And the crazy part is, when I do those basic messages, I even had two people respond literally last night. I'm sitting on my couch and responded saying, "Hey, yes, I see what you're doing. I have been very interested in that. Please send me the information." It's like, "Oh, wow, cool." And these are people that are, you know, these are people that are active in the industry. These are the people that you want on your team. So don't be afraid to reach out and bring these people on. And, absolute worst case scenario, what could happen, Curry? If you message someone, what is the absolute worst case scenario that could possibly happen?
Man, they'll track down where you live at and they'll take an airplane flight
Hunt
and
you down.
they will. That's that. They'll say no, man. They just say no.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, sometimes they'll be like, "This isn't the way to do this," and this is blah 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 blah. You got to
Oh
build
yeah,
a
I like when they try to
relationship
educate.
first.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, it's amazing. By the way, I'll give a little, just as you gave your scroll method. I'll give a trick that I'm giving away my secrets now. I'm giving away real secrets. I'll go to some of the biggest named network marketing people's pages
Yeah.
and I'll see who's constantly adding content on their pages, the action takers, the ones who are trying, the ones who are putting forth effort,
Yeah.
all them I'm messaging,
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
And because I don't have an emotional attachment to the outcome. I don't
Hmm.
care. But here, my favorite thing that I've heard by because I've given trainings like this before, and people are like, "Well, what if you get kicked out of a page?" What? Like, there's a billion pages, and there's more people, and there's more like, what? Why? Why is it? And I'd love to hear your question, hear your thoughts. Why do people care about rules?
I don't know. It's a great question.
You know, it's
Like
like, what?
I'll give you some. Here's some real life. I'll give you some data. Like for not just opinion. I'll give you data. Um, when I'm messaging, about 80% of the people read it because in Facebook you can see when someone reads a message. Like 80% of the people read it and never respond. Okay,
100%. Yep.
cool, whatever, no big deal. Um, Maybe another 5 to 10% will respond and say no thanks, not interested, blah blah blah, whatever. Cool. Um, Maybe 0.5% of the time, less than that, maybe 0.2%, I don't even know. I'll get a disgruntled employee response like, F you, don't send me this crap. You're just a spammer, blah, 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 blah. It's like such a small percent. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I usually just swipe and delete the message, move on. Um, and then again, another 0.1%, I'll send somebody a message and then they delete and block me. Oh darn. I'm still sleeping perfectly fine at night, by the way. um, and it's just like, and that's the data, and that's the data. But you like, here's a reality, and this is what needs, like, let this thing sink in. You only need one. Like, you need one person who's a producer, who's a go-getter, who's ambitious, to be like, you know what, send me what you got. Because you never know, and this has literally been my data and experience over the years. You never know when a leader, an influencer, whoever you're reaching out to, is having a bad day. You never know when they're like, they maybe in that moment they are open and you were right there. And again, real truth. I had a leader that I brought on years ago. She came in, she plowed in thousands of people. And I happened to be doing the scroll on Facebook, and she literally posted. It was just like a little, one of those red or black background, short little, hey, if you're a network marketer, drop your business down below. I'm looking. And that was her post. And I was like, and I just hit her
That
up.
sounds like cows to the slaughter, to be honest. That sounds like a
Yeah, of
reverse.
course, of course. It was like, and knowing who she was and knowing what she could do, um, everyone was piling like, here's my link, here's my link, here's my link. So I just hit her up on the side and I just said, hey, again, recruiting up, going after ambitious people, however you want to look at it. I hit her up on the side and I just said, hey, saw your post. We should connect. And it was literally as simple as that. We should connect. Um, you know, and then she replied back. And then a day later, she was on my team, you know? Um, but it's so many people could see that and be like, oh, I'm never going to land her. I'm never going to get her. There's no way I'm going to get her. But, like you said in the beginning, if you don't ask, guess what the answer is?
It's always no.
It's always no.
Yeah, dude, this is a great topic because people are afraid of what people will say.
That's it.
They're afraid
That's
of
the
what they're
fear.
going to. Yeah, and it's
That's
like
what
what.
keeps people from doing it.
But the reality is you have to come to a conclusion that you just don't care. Like, is it more important to make the ask because of what the outcome could possibly be in the future versus being concerned about just hearing no, just hearing that's stupid, just
Mm-hmm.
hearing I don't want to do those types of things. Those things are scams. Those types of it's like we, having that lack of emotional attachment to an outcome. Guys, that's what changed my life. Like I went to an event in Las Vegas and I heard this guy on stage, this trainer, one of the best trainers I've ever listened to. And he literally said, you are not responsible for the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no matter what they say, no matter how they respond, like you said a few minutes ago, they could just be having a bad day.
Yep.
You don't know what's happening in their lives. And so you taking the action is only doing just what you can do. You asking every single person is your responsibility. That's all you can control.
Mm-hmm.
But man, having an emotional attachment to a big name or a person, it's like, for instance, we're going to throw out one big name. I was visiting Las Vegas, and I personally have Eric Worre's phone number. And I was out there, and I was going to the Sphere, and my world was falling apart. I was having a bad time, and I was going to go see the Sphere for the first time, and I didn't want to do it by myself. And so I literally messaged Eric, and I said, "Hey, man, you available to go see the Sphere with me? I got an extra ticket." And he replied. He replied back and was like, I'm going to the Raiders game the same
Mm.
day. He goes, "I'm sorry." He goes, "If I wasn't, I would definitely be in." And I was like, "How cool is it?" He just replied, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Those are those." It's like I could have said, I could have done nothing, but
Yeah.
I got a nice reply
Imagine
from
the
this guy.
conversations you could have had during that event.
Right, right, yeah. Listen, and I've had the joy of hanging out with him, being at his house. I've been, but that's, I mean, I would never, because I know what he is. He isn't somebody who I would go out and pursue recruiting, but I would pursue getting to know him so
Mm-hmm.
I could learn from him, possibly get into some masterminds or do some things, you know, grow from the. And by the way, and I'm
Grow
going to
your
openly say
network.
this, that's it. It isn't even about getting to know him. It's about getting to know the circle that
Mm-hmm.
he's in. And that's when you recruit up and you get to continue growing your circle and keep moving your circle up, that's a whole new world.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
For
that's what
sure.
OSP did for me.
Yeah.
OSP entirely grew my network.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you put yourself in a position, as did I, because
Yeah,
that's where we met.
yeah.
You put yourself in yeah, I mean, just think of that connection right there. You put yourself in a position where you were, in a community, and it was an incredible community for a time where you were with other people that were all super ambitious. Now, granted, everybody else was in a different lane promoting, whatever they were promoting, but they all used this one tool, this one resource. And, what, I mean, what a community. What it was, when I go back over the years and I look at all the different communities I've been in, all the different Facebook groups, that was probably one of the best. When they were at their prime, that was one of the best, and it was just everyone was there to just absorb information and learn and get better. Is that a fair statement?
Oh yeah, and it never felt like anybody was like trying to take people's people or do anything. It
No.
was truly such a beautiful community.
Yeah, it really was. Um, so I want to give you guys watching. I want to give everybody kind of like a one line thing that will hopefully wrap up, condense this whole, like, when you think about recruiting up or you think about talking to people that, like, oh my gosh, they know more than me. I can't go talk to them, or they're more powerful, more sophisticated, make more money, whatever it is, whatever's going through your head. Um, I want to give you this right here. Don't decide for them.
Sweet.
Just stupid freaking simple, right? Like, do not decide for them. Let them decide. And like Curry's mentioned 100 times in these podcasts here, like, you just go do the thing. Let the other person decide if it's for them. But when you, because of your ego, your thought process, your fear, you're like, they're not going to be interested. It's like, cool. Then the answer is no. They're never going to join you. You are right. Congratulations on being right. Or you could just go do the thing, and then whatever happens, happens. And then you move on, you do the thing again. It's your call.
Hopefully you do the thing a lot more. Like I hope,
Uh huh.
that's our goal. Me and Dan's goal here is to make sure that you come to a conclusion in your life that doing the thing matters the most. No matter
Mm-hmm.
what company you're in, no matter what product service you represent, we want you to be better. We do. That's why would we pour out our time every week, and why would we do this if we didn't want? Because we ain't recruiting you. We
Hmm.
ain't putting links in these things for some other company or for our goal is to help you become the best at this because we've come from doing, failing to this point. And by the
Hmm.
way, we both have much room to grow as well. We
Oh, of
both do.
course. Of
Like we
course.
ain't, man. I want to get on that business for home top 100, be in the top like five people. I want to be in that list. I want to be in that list. It's just like, why is Curry Russell's name up there making $850,000 a month? What
Yeah.
it's like because he can. That's why because he
Uh-huh.
can.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
By the way, that's a lot of fun too to go to the top DSN 100 list and make that your list. Make that your list.
Yeah.
Those people.
You know what?
That's
When I was looking at our topics this morning, Curry, one of the other thing was building your list. That's a whole other topic there. Um, but man, what a great list to work from.
oh
Business for home. I mean, what you want to talk about going after ambitious people and again, just please remember this. This is the most important thing out of this whole podcast today is like when you're looking at um, these other people that are out there, like don't decide for them. Just ask the damn question or just send the message, put the comment in their post, whatever it is. Go do the thing and don't worry about what happens afterwards. Because like you got to realize the people that you're going after, the people that you're targeting, the people that are on your list have probably all done what you're trying to do. Like all of them. They have built their business, created their success by reaching out to other people. So if you reach out to them, it's not going to be a surprise, by the way. It's
we all get recruited constantly. I mean,
daily.
no, the amount of times we get messages. And by the way, sometimes I'm not. I don't respond nicely. Sometimes I'm just like, no, dude, no. You get out of here with this craziness.
Well,
But at the end of the day, it's still a no. And it's like if you don't,
mm,
I've never attacked anybody. I've never beat anybody up.
no, no. And Um, I've responded several different ways, but the most part for me, like I gave you the percentages earlier. Most of the time, I don't respond. Sometimes I say no. Um, Only every once in a while, will I respond with something other than not answering or a no. Um, like I had one guy, it was about a year ago, and he was like, and I had known this guy. He was a name. I knew this guy for a long time, but he was also a name that literally jumped into everything. And he's like, "Hey, I see what you're doing. Um, I have a deal for you." And I knew this was I knew where this was going. He's like, "I'll join you if you join me."
Ooh,
So yeah, so just for yucks, um, I looked at his page. I looked at the business opportunity, and I'm not even and I say this to be as nice as I possibly can. I'll leave some words out, but it was like the website I went to and the business that it was the biggest pile of I mean, the website literally looked like a 5-year-old put it together. Without the help of ChatGPT, because then it would have looked even better. But it literally looked like a 5-year-old put it together. And I went back to him with feedback, and I just said, "Listen, I go, whatever the hell you just sent me. I go, I wouldn't join that if you paid me to join. I'm like, it looks horrible. The product is horrible. It there's absolutely 100% zero way that I will ever join this with you, but thanks anyway.
right.
And I was just straight up. Now, granted, if he sent me something that was like, okay, I see the potential here. Who knows? I might have done the tit for tat thing, but I just looked at it and I was like, I'm like, dude, really? Come
Can
on.
we
Like,
can we talk about the psychology of this real fast? Because I think
sure.
this is very, very helpful. If you message anyone and they say, by the way, there's two types of people. There are happy people and there are unhappy people. That's it. That's all you're looking for. fifty
A lot of
percent,
them are unhappy.
right? And they're so this is it. If you ask somebody, would you be open to taking a look at whatever it is? and they respond yes. No matter what they're doing in life, they're not happy where they are. You can take that to the bank. If a
Mhm.
person replies yes, they're openly looking for something. If Because you cannot message a happy person in that is locked into what they're doing, married to their thing, whatever you want
Mhm.
to use the fun words, who will say yes. I would say no to 100% of things at this point in my life. But if you come to me when I'm having a transition, I meant to mention this. This is what 10 years ago, I went to my very first network marketing training in Akron, Ohio. It's the day that changed my whole life. At that event, people recommend one of the speakers recommended 3 books, and one of those books was Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell.
Mhm.
He recommended this book in the first event I ever went to. I have it in my notebook. I wrote it
Mhm.
down.
Yep.
I didn't read it till year 9. I did not read this book till year 9. That's not a joke. That's the real truth. The second chapter of the book was like the most eye-opening slap in the face. Like, are you serious? Like, if I had known this way back here at day one, how much more?
You'd be
Listen,
making that 850,000 a month.
dude, the whole chapter is about finding people in transition.
Yeah.
It's literally talking about finding people who aren't happy,
Yeah.
finding people who are going from one thing to another, or they're changing jobs, or they've just
Mhm.
been let go, or you're in between companies. And it's like, if you are asking the question, would you be open to, and they say yes or a positive response, this is the greatest thing that could happen to you. Like, it's just like,
Mhm.
oh, I found one. Oh, it doesn't mean they're going to sign up yet, but it does mean they're going to listen.
Yep. Fun
Boy,
fact for you, real quick.
go
You
ahead.
talk about the business for home list, right? Having a great list. Every single one of those people that is probably in the top 100 have transitioned from one opportunity to another. Every single one of them,
And most of the
guaranteed.
time, because somebody asked them,
Right?
it's the only way you get there.
Uh huh. So
It-
yeah, you can, as they say, strike while the iron's hot. But if you don't do it, you know, I'll tell you what the answer is right now before you even not ask the question.
by the way, let's just go ahead and say it so that people get used to hearing it. No,
Yeah.
no.
Uh-huh.
It hurts a lot, man. It
Oh
hurts.
man, I don't know if I can sleep tonight.
Do-
You know,
it-
you know what? I'm going golfing tomorrow morning. If someone tells me no today, I might have to cancel my tee time. I mean,
Cancel golf.
I
My
just
goodness.
I will not be able to make it through the day. Um,
It's
so
hilarious.
here's an ounce of why I love this business, right? I love this vehicle that we have in life called network marketing. So I'm gonna get personal here for half a second. Um, today's a Tuesday, right? Normally, when Kerr and I record these podcasts, we do it on a Monday morning, but I had to postpone a day because it was a Saturday. It was this past weekend. It was business as usual here at the household, and we were getting ready to go out to a show, go see a band, have some fun, and my wife started getting some pains in her stomach, and then throughout the day, the pains got progressively worse. And then so we didn't go to the show, and then by 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, here we go, we're going to the emergency room. So this weekend isn't what we thought it was going to be. And then the next thing you know, we're there till about 6 in the morning, CAT scans, ultrasounds, whatever. She had to go in for emergency gallbladder surgery. And we were there obviously all day Sunday into Monday. Finally made it home here yesterday by I think it was like 10:30. So it was a long whirlwind of I don't know how many hours that was, 36, 48 hours, whatever it was. And because of this business, I didn't have to call in sick. I didn't have to miss any time off of work. Um, while we were sitting there waiting, like doing nothing, either while she's in her surgery and I'm in the room just sitting there killing time and waiting, or we're sitting there literally just waiting for a doctor to come in and say, hey, blah, blah, blah. You know, I had this. I had this right here. My team still grew. I personally still made sales, and I could literally and easily, and I was scrolling through Facebook and some of my social channels, and I saw other people who were out there doing their thing, and I said, let me message them. Copy, paste, send. And I was easily able to, while we had all this like real major, like my wife had an organ removed from her, body. That's pretty major. I was still able to work my business, do it all when it was convenient for me, still be there with her, be supportive, um, and still build and grow my business at the same time. I didn't have to take time off. And it's because of this thing that, we've built that allows us the freedom and the blessing to be able to like, oh, we need to have something major done. Well, let's go do that. Let's get that taken care of. And it didn't impact my finances, my life, or anything because, it's an incredible vehicle and industry that, personally, I just feel blessed to be a part of.
You're not wrong, man. This is that little device has opened up the doors for many of us to endlessly create and learn to manage time. It's like you got that device, and your situation is one of the best examples of time management because, to be honest, if you were laying in the hospital bed in the place of your wife, in between whatever the doctors were doing, in between the nurses checking, in between the pokes and the blood draws and everything else,
Mm-hmm.
you would be using your time on your device to build whatever you were building. It's it's the people who and by the way, this is signs of ambitious people. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it's the people who go to the kids' ball game and believe that they got to sit there and watch all these other kids play the sport, and they don't do anything with their time. They just give up all their time. And these, we don't have to be sitting in front of a laptop anymore. We don't have to be, doing all having a bunch of hardware. I can build an entire whole empire on this thing.
Yeah.
And you listen, and prayers for your wife. I've had that gallbladder removed. Mine was a lot more serious. I was in the hospital for 13 days. I almost
Wow.
died. So it was ridiculous. But I'm happy that she's recovering and home.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it's excuses are easy, guys. It's easy to reach in your pocket, and there's going to be an endless supply of excuses in your pocket that you can reach down and grab at any point throughout your life, forever. It never ends, never goes away. Or you can just go do the effing thing, and
Well, my
and
good friend Kelly specifically says you can have excuses or you can have results, but you
one or
can't
the
have both.
other. Yeah, or to phrase it a different way, would you rather be right or would you rather be rich?
Oh, that's his too. I hear that all the time,
I
man.
mean,
Oh my God, all the time.
it's but it's these little simple phrases, sentences, metaphors, whatever you want to call them. Um, they're all true. You know,
I
uh,
used to be in that belief that I used to want to be right. I
where did it
really
get
would
you?
argue and complain and believe that I was right. And then it got to a point where I was just like, why? Why do I care? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Just do the thing. There's no other. If you're not getting results, then you have to go a different direction. You have to change your thoughts. Something about you is not doing the thing right or
Hmm.
mixing, and you can't be right. You just got to go do the thing.
It was I can't remember if it was in an audio I was listening to, or if it was um one of these books over here is in it was in one of the two of them, and I heard a phrase, and there's phrases throughout my career that just stand out, like ILT
Right.
or whatever it was, and there's phrases that and this is one of those phrases that it just stuck. I was like, dude. Um, and whoever the author was or speaking or whatever I read, they said human beings are addicted to being right. And I was like, and it's so simple, so simple. But it was just one of those things that stuck. I've just always remembered that. And then I thought to myself, like, either when I'm teaching or coaching or even specifically for myself, human beings are addicted to right, no matter how minor, no matter how wrong. Someone wants to prove, like one person wants to prove to another that they know what they're talking about, that they are correct in that specific situation. And I thought to myself, so if someone's like in your DMs or they're on your post and they're like, it's a pyramid scheme, that person wants to prove you wrong. They want to be right. So no matter what it is, and I thought to myself, I'm like, how can I take this and just be like, you know what? Instead of trying to be right for myself, how can I be more open to understanding more? How can I learn better? How can I get better results? Well, I don't need to try to prove to anyone that I'm right. I just need to be open to learning more information. So,
Instead
it's,
of making more statements, ask more questions.
yeah, listen more.
Right. Yeah. I think we both have come to that level of growth in our lives because it's definitely, uh, I know I have the pains of believing I was right.
Yeah.
And that wasted a lot of time. And I mean, I wasn't good at this at the beginning. It took me a long time to get decent
Yeah.
because I thought what I thought and instead of listened. Oh,
Well, let's just be, again, just more data and let's just be crystal clear here. Like you're pretty good at what you do. You make a full-time living in network marketing. I'm pretty good at what I do. I make a full-time living in network marketing. And for me, every single year without fail, I don't want to say months or whatever, but I know at least I can think back to at least once a year or every so often I see somebody else out there in the space, in the niche, in the industry that is just killing it. And I'll go study what they're doing. And every single time I learn something that I'm like, oh, damn, that's pretty good. And I try to take that and I try to bring that into what I'm doing. And I try to learn from other people. I am no way near at a place in my career where I'm like, I know everything. What I do is right and what you are doing is wrong. You are building your business wrong. It's, I would, I don't want to be right there. I want to be able to learn and be the most effective leader, builder, networker that I can possibly be. So, make yourself open, be open to learning, be open to, hearing some things that you maybe you thought you knew, but maybe you could learn a little more. Maybe you haven't had that light bulb moment yet. But just be open.
that's it, man. I think that when you're going after ambitious people, you're going after people who may have had some success in their field. Just realize they might not have had success in your field. And they might be looking for something, a growth moment in their life. They might be open to. And all you have to do is knock. Just knock.
Hmm.
Find out. Hey, would you like to buy these Girl Scout cookies? I've been training the Girl Scout method for the last 8 years. And this, if you don't knock on that door and you don't ask them if they want some cookies,
Ain't
you're
selling any
never
cookies.
going to sell a cookie.
Yep.
Why do the Girl Scouts know it better than everybody else? That's what I want to know. They seem to
Yep.
have this thing down.
Why? Why is it easier? I mean, simple question. Why is it easier? What's the average Girl Scout? Like 10 years old, maybe rough,
Something
give or
or less.
why, why is it easier for the average 10-year-old girl to step out of their comfort zone than it is for us? Like
I know this answer.
they get
They,
it.
well,
They
it's
get
not
it.
that they don't know discomfort yet. They have knocking on that door. They don't even understand that that person could slam the door in their face yet. A
Hmm.
hundred houses down the road, they'll know. 100 houses, but they're going to go do the thing because that's what they got to do. They got
Yeah.
a goal. They have a goal. They have a vision of what they're going to do with whatever the goal they got. They're going to win a bicycle. They're going to win a game system. They're going to. It's like God. It's just so simple to
They're
just.
going after the end result and they don't care
They
how they get there.
don't care. They don't care. They'll stand in front of a Dollar General with a table of cookies, just asking everybody coming through the door.
Yep.
I,
And
I
I'm willing to bet that that Girl Scout networked with family members, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, parents, and said, hey, you know, will you help me get the word out so I can sell more cookies, so I can go sell more stuff, I can make more money, and I can go win the thing?
is that a who do you know conversation? Is that what that is?
It
Hey,
could be.
listen, this might not be for you, but maybe you know somebody. Could you possibly refer some? Oh man, that's a whole referral conversation.
Uh-huh.
Oh goodness gracious, these Girl Scouts know what they're talking about. I
Yep.
want to go sit in a Girl Scout training. That's what I want to do. I want to see. I want to see the Girl Scout training from the ground up.
Just sitting, it'll be those old dudes just sitting in the back taking notes. Be like, what the hell's that guy doing? He's learning.
Listen, as long as they believe that and nothing else, that it's like I don't want to be around for no nasty reasons. I want to be there to gain as much knowledge as possible.
Hmm.
Heck, I wish I could go back to '98 and reset in that Kirby vacuum cleaner sales class. I wish I could go back to that moment in time. Man, I feel like that was my total failure right there.
Yep.
But we wrapping this up.
Yeah, man. I know you got stuff to do. You got to
Oh, it's gonna be a busy day. Look at this.
packing
Look at this
stuff and
crate.
driving and all that other.
We are packing up, man. It's a
Yep.
mess.
Well, good luck with that. Have some fun. I'm gonna keep my tea time tomorrow because I think I'll
Yeah.
be okay. So I'm gonna go do that. But
Well, I'm gonna go
listen,
pick up a U-Haul.
yeah, there you go. If you guys made it to this point in the video, drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Recruiting up, going after ambitious people. And while you're here, hit that subscribe button, smash that bell icon. Be the first to know whenever we throw out episode 9 or a new short or whatever it is here on Two Dudes Talking. Curry, as always, appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for being here.
You too,
Thanks
man.
for taking time away from moving and packing and doing all that stuff that nobody really enjoys doing. But
That's what we gotta do.
you're focused on the end result, right?
That's right.
You're focused on the end result. So
Next
appreciate you
week,
guys.
next
But
week it'll be a whole new world for me having a human being in my space. So it'll be a whole new Monday. So we'll see you next Monday,
I'm
Dave.
sure you'll adjust just fine.
Yeah.
But appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.